Okay, so I hope you can hear this. I'm having to hold the webcam. My document camera is being dumb and I can't use it. So for number 46 on page 66, if you are writing an equation to say that you pay $26.10 plus you're going to pay $4.35. If it was just for each additional pound, it would be for the weight of your package minus the 1 pound because you've already paid for the 26.10 covers the first pound. So you do X minus 1 to get the extra weight. All right, but we're saying that we're always going to round this down so we make it a greatest integer. So that's your function. Now to get a graph of it, you're going to think about like our y-intercept is 2610. And so for the first pound, that's what we pay. Well, then after that, we're going to, up to 2 pounds, pay the same. Then we jump up and we pay. So it's going to look something like this, and you're going to be doing, you're going to be doing this multiple choice. So you really just need to understand that it's a y-intercept, that it's a positive slope, and you'll be able to pick the right picture. So don't worry too much about that. All right, so on page 107, let's go in order. So number 49 is wanting you to find the domain. I'll move that so you can see it. Hold on. Square root of 25 minus x. All right, so remember this is one of our domain issues where we are looking at a square root. So we're going to take what's under the square root, say that that has to be 0 or bigger. Then we're going to work this out. So subtract the 25, divide by the negative, which flips the symbol, take the square root of both sides. So you get a 5, and then you get a negative 5. And since you get the negative, you switch. So we're saying that the domain is going to be everything it doesn't go like that. I don't need infinities. It goes from negative 5 to 5 because we want to be more than negative 5 but less than 5. And if you graph that in your calculator, you get something that resembles that, where this happens at negative 5 and that happens at 5. Number 70. You are given 2 ordered pairs, basically. We did this in a class starter, and we also did it in one of our lessons towards the end. So let's see. This is the ordered pair 0, negative 5. This is the ordered pair 4, negative 8. So you're going to have to use, can you see that? You're going to have to use point slope form. So we can pick a point and plug that in for y and x. But we also have to find the slope. So if we do subtract the y's over subtract the x's, we get negative 3/4. So then we distribute and move the 5 to the other side. Okay, next you have 74. 74 wants us to graph a piecewise function. The good news is both of the pieces are linear. So the way I taught this in class was to make a t-table, but I'm going to do it a quicker way just to save time. We know that this is going to have a y-intercept of negative 3 and a slope of 5. So you have this line. But this restriction says at -1, we're going to cut it off and only keep what's to the right. So we're going to erase this side. For this one, we're going to start at 5, go down 4, right 1, and that's going to have to be I feel like something went completely wrong with that. No, that's right. Start at 5, down 4, over 1. Sorry. So you get this line. But again, we only want to keep what's to the left this time. So open circle here and keep this side and erase all of the stuff on the greater than side. All right. What do you have next? Part D on 75 through 83. All right, part D, want you to use function notation. So I'm just going to pick one that looks like maybe the hardest. Well, none of the hard ones did I actually assign. 79. All right, so they give you this function. You can't see that, can you? They give you this function. All right, so if I'm going to write that in function notation, then I'm going to replace x squared with f of x. So h of x is the opposite of f of x plus a 2 with a plus 3 on the back. So where this, instead of putting an x squared, I just put an f of x around that x plus 2. Everything else stays the same. All right, and number 83 in general. Your problem with that is that it's a greatest integer. So everything still really applies, though, that you've already learned. You're multiplying by 5, so that's going to be a vertical stretch. You're subtracting 9 on the inside, so it's going to go to the right 9. So normally we would have something that looks like this. All right, so what we're going to do is move it to the right 9 and stretch it vertically by 5, which means there's going to be 5 in between. So from here to here would be 5, and this would move over to 9. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So this first one that's on the axis is there. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next one jumps all the way up to 5 before it gets done. And then you just keep making a bunch of those that are 5 apart, but only 1 unit long. So they're kind of big for my scale, but you get the idea. You're not going to have to graph one of those by hand, anything like that. It's going to be multiple choice. All right. All right, I think that's all of them. If you still have questions or if me going through those quickly was not enough, then by all means ask me in class tomorrow. Hope this helped.